used to it. Like I was a rogue player, which is considered like one of the hardest classes in PvP,
Well,
and it was just
that's not necessary because lots of good players, especially people from Dota 1, they never even touched the really hard really hard heroes, and
right.
there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody, like, you can't be really good at every single hero. That's just not going to be possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even want to try, man. I just really would like to play, you know, just all my favorite or like all the good mid lane heroes, and then like Invoker, he's like my favorite hero in the game. So I mean, it just kind of like, it would just be like a disservice, I think, to not at least try to
Yeah.
improve.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not saying don't try. What I was saying is there's so many other things to learn before that
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
kind
listen,
of
I totally
hurts.
understand and
Yeah.
agree for sure.
No,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely,
completely
man.
fine. That's completely all right. So first things first, right? Let's get started. You bought Fairy Fire and Ironwood Branch, and you weren't sure. Like, nobody had shared a tango with you, so at the time when you bought these. So that's a mistake, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to come to the lane without any region, without a shared tango. So you should always wait until somebody shares. Like, ask people for tango. If somebody shares it, then buy these. If already everybody's left from base and nobody wants to share, then you just want to start off with a full set of tangos. It's
Right, yeah.
definitely very
Well, this was a
important.
party game, so I kind of knew that they was going to give me one. I was in Discord with them.
Okay, all right, that's a different story. That's a completely different story. And then moving forward, yeah, that's a good thing. You're buying a salve. The only thing is that you could have gone to this rune a bit earlier, so that you don't miss out this initial block. Because when it comes to Invoker versus Sniper, Sniper is really strong. Sniper destroys almost every mid laner. To be honest,
Yeah,
it's
he does,
really
dude. It's
hard
crazy.
to it's really hard to lane against a sniper. And to be honest, when it comes to a matchup, such a stupid matchup like Invoker versus Sniper, uh, it helps that you're Exhort Invoker. It helps a lot, but it doesn't take this guy could be. It doesn't take an equally skilled opponent or higher skilled opponent to beat you as a sniper. Like, Sniper could be 1k lower than you, and he'd still, you'd still lose your mid lane to him. Now, the reason why I want to stop here is because you missed all these last hits, and all you really needed to do was aggro here. Now, aggro is a
Right.
concept which is, you know, fairly absent from sub 4K, at least from people might know about it. People know about it, but people don't actually put it into practice too often, or don't really, know what it's for, or don't really do it as often as they need to. Now, aggro here, there's two reasons why you should have aggro. The first reason is because when you have an opponent who is stronger than you, a lane which is hard for you, a hard lane, or a matchup where you are supposed to lose or it's really hard, you should always aggro, because what that does is, if you go over here, click on Sniper, you move these three. Actually, let me check. These three enemy creeps will move towards you because you just aggroed them. And when you de-aggro, they'll start attacking this range creep. So these three will move over here, whereas your three will actually move over here and start attacking this guy. So what you'll essentially create is a set of farm over here and a set of creeps over here, right? So you created this barrier which separates you from the enemy, and
Right.
this is all now safe farm. Now, normally what happens is you are gonna sacrifice the range creep. You might not even get XP for it. If you try hard enough, you can, but you might not get XP for it. But what it does guarantee is that you will definitely get these three creeps. You'll get the gold for these three creeps, right? And and that's what's important. Not only do you get the gold for these three creeps, but because you created two different sections, you don't get harassed from the enemy, and that's what's
Right.
almost equally important. And the second thing is, when it's a matchup where you are maybe equally, like, your damage is almost equal, or if you feel like you don't feel too comfortable last hitting, that's another time to aggro. Even if you are stronger in the lane than the enemy, it's still better to aggro, because it'll make last hitting easier for you. So, for example, right here, you already missed two last hits to sniper denying them. Well, not denying them so much as messing them up for you. So you got 1 out of 4, and that was all. Like, You could have had 3 out of 4 if you'd aggroed. Maybe 4 out of 4 if you got lucky with the range creep and sniper pushed the lane out or something. Anyway, let's move forward. That's pretty much that one thing is quite big. All right, so here let's see when you turn level 2, and right here. You turn level 2 here. Um, so whatever happened in the first creep wave, it's past. Now we're talking about the second creep wave. You're level 2. This is the time where, like, you saw what happened in the first creep wave, right? It was hard for you
Right.
to last hit. Like you know that you have only one last hit out of an entire creep wave. So it's a hard. You're having difficulty farming, whether it be because you're out of practice with the hero or the enemies better or whatever, right? So you need to use the Fort Spirit immediately, literally
Okay.
right now, and you don't
Right.
do that, and you got that one denied, creep denied because you didn't put the Fort Spirit up, and in fact the next one also got denied as well. Sniper actually went for the deny for it. Um, all right. So yeah, now you get the okay. So here is what I don't necessarily agree with, because you use the Force Spirit to get the last hit on this range creep. Now there's two reasons why this was a bad usage of Force Spirit. First of all,
Okay.
look at how far Sniper is, and look at how close to the creep wave you are now. This is not 100% true for Sniper, just because his projectile is almost instant. But
Right.
normally, when it's any other range hero, their projectile, if they're that far away from the range creep and from a creep, and you're this close, no matter what, your projectile is gonna hit fast first, right? Because it's
Right.
going to take you a
Right.
little while. So normally you almost guarantee, like even now, you almost guarantee you will get this range creep, right? So using this Force Spirit, yeah, I mean it's 50-50. I mean I'm okay and I'm not okay. But the biggest reason why I'm not okay with is because it's gonna be completely wasted for the next. Like you're literally using it for only one creep.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
by the time you're gonna need it for the next last hit, this guy is almost gonna be dead, if not
Right.
already
Right.
killed by a sniper.
Mm.
Right, so he's almost half HP. He's almost quarter HP, and he
That.
is almost gone. He's gone. So there's still like two creeps left out of 4, and you're already out of it. And you're also lucky that Sniper actually didn't try to kill it, because the thing is, if you notice when you spawned it, right? When you spawned it, um, and right here, look at it from Sniper's perspective. What does Sniper have to right click right now? Nothing at all,
Right.
right? All of his creeps are full HP, or rather, all of your creeps are full HP, so he's not going for any last hit. So if I was Sniper right here, I 100. Oh my god. If I was Sniper right here, I would 100% have um, thrown shrapnel like literally right here, and just gone for either last right clicks of you or this guy. Like if he
Mm.
goes for right clicks of this guy, he gets an extra CS, and then he also guarantees you don't get last hits of these 4 creep. Or he can go for right clicks of you, but then that's not really that good because you've got a full healing salve and you're also invoker, so you're gonna get your cost and blah blah
Right.
blah
Right.
blah. But regardless, it's just that he's really a bad player. That's why he didn't do anything. He didn't go for any right clicks. He's just standing there walking left and right. He could have quite easily killed. Like he doesn't even need to use shrapnel there. He could have actually killed the Force Spirit quite easily. Right. Now moving on. Okay, so it's a really good time to use your healing salve. So, okay, not sure why you didn't use it, but it's gonna get you into trouble pretty soon. I have a feeling. Okay,
Double damage.
you don't necessarily have to get the entire 400 out of this. Even if you have 300 HP, it's okay to use it. In fact,
Right.
sometimes it's really important to use it. because you going over there when I said you were in trouble again. This guy is bad. He has two shrapnel charges. He had three full shrapnel charges. On top of
Right.
those level two shrapnel as well. He 100% could have killed you, and there
Right.
was absolutely nothing. You had no mana. You had no mana. You know. So there's even if you had
Nothing I could have done. Right.
absolutely nothing you could have done, apart from maybe popping a fairy fire, which you know it's with three shrapnel charges laid down. There's no way it saves you. So at the end of the day, this matchup turned out to be extremely easy. You know, he's not doing anything, so it's just sad. I mean, he's doing a good job of denying quite a few. Like
Mm-hmm.
I guess not really that much. He's messing up your last hits a lot. That's he's attempting denies. So even though he just has three last hits, he definitely messed up like five or six of your last hits,
Mine! I cannot believe that worked.
which could have been avoided completely had you aggroed. Anyway, so uh, as an invoker, as an exhort invoker, this is something that I actually did not talk about at all. So the choice between exhort and Cosmex invoker. Now, the difference obviously between the two is that exhort invoker has more damage, but
Right.
is also needs a lot more space and comes online quite a lot later. So it's about the timing window. Whereas Cosmex Invoker has less damage, but has a lot of control, comes online really, really quickly, and is the one who makes space. So
Right.
essentially, you know, some a lot of the times your item choices and all of these decisions go into what you are facing against, right? What the enemy team is. But the this choice between Cosmex and Exhort Invoker depends entirely on what is your own team composition. Do you
Right.
have
Right.
heroes? Do you have heroes in your team who need a lot of space? If that's the case, then you definitely 100% never ever want to go for an Exhort Invoker, because what's going to happen then is you need space, another person needs space, you're both going to be farming, and suddenly your team is going to be 20 minutes without two of their cores, and they're going to be 3v5 constantly, and they're just going to keep on dying, and the enemy team is going to get so much richer than
Right.
how much
Right.
you guys can farm. Not to mention you guys are going to be taking each other's farm. Like if somebody else is farming the jungle and you have not much space, then you're going to see him farming the jungle, or the jungle is going to be empty, and then what you're going to do is you're going to try to farm in the lane, and then when you show yourself in the lane as an exhort invoker with not many escapes and not many items, you're going to constantly be getting ganked and dying, and all that stuff is going to happen. So
Yeah.
it's really
Absolutely.
important to know if this is which invoker game this is. Now, looking at this lineup, like Mirana doesn't need a lot of space, comes online pretty quick. He's a fairly early mid game focused hero. Same goes for Dragon Knight. Same goes for uh, Monkey, and let's just avoid techies for this conversation. I mean, techies also like make space, right? He makes a lot of space. He constricts
Right.
enemies' map. So this is a fantastic game for Exort Invoker. And the only unfortunate thing is there's not really much of a Sunstrike Sunstrike's setup in the early game, at least not until the Dragon Knight gets his skill leveled up. Actually, even level 1 is 2.5 seconds, and your is 1.75, I think 1.7 second delay. 1.7 second delay, yeah. So DK is a setup for you. That's definitely one. And then not until late game or mid game does techies become a
Right.
quite a
Yeah.
decent setup for you. Like even level 1 is like 2 seconds. So like level 2 is 3 seconds. So as soon as you see somebody get trapped, you can just immediately boom sunstrike him. So uh, another thing is um, yeah. So that's sunstrike setup. So that's it's not that great a game for sunstriking as an invoker. But the thing with sunstrike is that I feel like we're not going to get a chance in this game because you don't have it available here. But the thing with Sunstrike is you should never ever use Sunstrike willy nilly. Like until you get a lot of mana regen, and we're talking like 20 minutes passed into the game. You should never
Yeah.
use Sunstrike if you cannot guarantee 100% that you're going to get the damage in. Like
Right.
that guarantee means obviously a stunned hero or AFK hero.
Right. Yeah.
But otherwise, you should never ever use Sunstrike. The other thing is that if you have a guaranteed stun, you should always keep Sunstrike here and then a farming like Force Spirit or Alacrity here. The reason for that is
Mm.
because obviously you need one skill for farming, but that other skill, because Invoker, he's not doing anything for 20, 25 minutes into the game. He's not contributing at all to team fights. He's not going to be in any team fights. He's constantly just going to be farming. So the Sunstrike is the only contribution you're going to have, so it's important to have that at least available, you know. And also,
Right.
it's a source of gold and XP, as you can get kills across the map. Anyway, I like a lot. I like the fact that you bought a clarity. I like that a lot. You could have obviously gone to the shrine. That would have been maybe faster. If you had, Sunstrike available, I would definitely have said go to the shrine because you want to have Sunstrike available. But it's about communication also. Like you
Yeah.
can't be expected to constantly be looking over to both lanes, like just randomly looking to both lanes. When you see some sort of an engagement happening on the mini map, then yeah, of course, then you have to look at the lanes. But you can actually coordinate. Like when you see, uh, obviously, I know that these guys are your friends right now, but even in a pub, you can actually tell the guy whoever can guarantee your sunstrike. Like in this case, DK, you can say, "Hey, man, whenever you wanna stun somebody, let me know so I can throw a sunstrike on him from across the map." So it's important to do these things. All right, so you decided to switch up. Okay, this doesn't. Actually, did not notice what when that happened. I was talking. Okay, so you were comfortably farming with your Ford Spirit here. I haven't noticed, but I think you're not using Ford Spirit a lot.
No, I
That
definitely wasn't. At this point, I was thinking like, man, dude, if I drop this force spirit, he's just gonna shrapnel on top of it, and it's just gonna get eat up because like it just feels so weak now that they, like after the changes and stuff like that, it
yeah,
just
but
like force spirit feels so weak.
if that is the case, then you should never have put Force Spirit in here. You
Yeah,
could have thought about
yeah,
it.
it makes sense.
The other thing is like you could have like used it. He'd never shrapnel the Force Spirit. He never ever did it. Like that. I think you put it out twice, and he never shrapneled it. So if he's not shrapneling it, then you just keep using it. The other thing is that you can actually move it out of shrapnel, deny it if it's about to die, and
Right,
keep in mind that his shrapnel is like what is it, 55 seconds. His shrapnel is 55-second cooldown, right? The goal the mana cost for sniper is insignificant. But the shrapnel itself is 55-second cooldown. Sure, it's on 3 charges, but it's still 55-second cooldown. Whereas your
right,
Force Spirit, it's on a 30-second cooldown.
yeah,
It was definitely less. Never mind then. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can save it, especially with level 2 boss. You've got how much HP? You've got 400 HP. So unless sniper gets a couple of right clicks off on him, I can guarantee you that you can move him out of shrapnel range, and you don't really care even if the force spirit is like 1 HP, as long as you can get the damage out from him. Once again, sniper has to come into close range, to deny him, or rather to get the last hit on him.
right.
Okay. The other thing is you using alacrity and okay, so let's talk about alacrity. So Fort Spirit is made from Exord and Quas, right?
Right.
You've got 2 points in these two. Alacrity is made from Exord and Vex. You've only got 1 point in Vex, and I have no idea why you've got this point in Vex either. I think the only reason why you've got a point in Vex is because of alacrity, because you wanted.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I've just been trying to experiment. Like now that he has like a 6 second invoke, I've been trying to just like mess around. I've been seeing a lot of people get like early points in Wex, or some people like I've seen him even do like they'll max out Wex and Exhort first with only like 3 points in Quas, and they just run around Alacrity cold snapping everybody. So
That's a Quasvex build though. That is literally
right,
that's literally what you do with Quasvex. You sometimes 3 points, sometimes 4 points. But if you see any one of my Quasvex Invoker games, that's exactly what I do with Quasvex Invoker. And the another reason why Exhort Invokers put a point in Vex early on is exactly because of alacrity. But at level 6, then they've got like they wouldn't have 2 points in Quas. I think you would put another point in 4 points in Vex or in Exhort, I believe, unless I'm really mistaken. But oh no, at level 5, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with swapping it out for alacrity like this late. That like having this decision change in your head. If you wanted to go for alacrity from the beginning, that's a different story. So I guess this is a chance for you to next time think before you decide between either alacrity or force spirit. You like, do I want to go force spirit this game or do I want to go alacrity this game? You know,
Right, right.
uh,
Yeah.
and then go according to that. I definitely think force spirit would have been just fine against a normal sniper, against a actual decent sniper. Force spirit isn't so good, but against this sniper, definitely think force spirit would have been just fine.
Right.
Next thing is your oh yeah, also 6 second cooldown invoke is completely useless because the mana cost is so high. Now, if you look at any one of your any one of your spells, apart from the farming spells, which are force spirit and alacrity, all your other spells cost a lot of mana. Even
Yeah.
something as small and low cooldown, and something like Cold Snap costs like 100 mana, which is 1/5 of
Mm.
your mana pool. So it's having another point in exhort. Sorry, having a 6 second exhort, ah, invoke cooldown. It's pretty much insignificant. Like the only way you use it is if you um for again for Quas Vex, because if you're Quas Vex invoker right now you have 3 points in Vex. That means
Mm.
if you get a successful EMP off, that's 250 mana for you back for you. You use obviously you've used 125 mana, so it's essentially half your mana pool, half the mana from EMP back. If you hit two people, that's 500 mana for you, and that's
Right.
your mana pool full suddenly. So
Right.
so again for Quasvex, 6 second cooldown is amazing. Anyway, the last thing that I want to talk about while this is paused is your null talisman, your choice of null talisman. Now, you started off the game with a null talisman as an exhort invoker. Now, this is bad because null talisman gives you 9 damage, right? And
Mhm.
compare that to Wraithband, 9 damage as an int hero, right? Compare it to Wraithband. Wraithband will only give you 6 damage, right?
Mm.
Because it'll give you 3 int and 3 plus damage, but the
Right.
other stats stay the same, right? Actually, Wraithband gives you a little bit more agility, which gives you a little bit more armor and a little bit more attack speed. Like the attack speed is actually insignificant because it's 3 attack speed. So now you're gonna talk about that.
Right.
But other stats like the strength stat is the same. So it's much, and you're an exhort invoker, so you're already getting tons and tons of damage from exhort. Like as soon as you get level 2 exhort, your damage is just like gone through the roof. And then you're not gonna need any more damage from that point onward. Even at level 1, having 12 extra damage from exhort, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
having 3 less damage from um, difference from null to wraithband isn't that significant. And the reason why I am talking about wraithband is because you are going to get Basilius, right? So
Yep.
if you start with wraithband, this is now an Aquila, gives so many other stats, so many other things. It adds to your price value because it's essentially the same cost, right? And the
Right.
best thing of all is it's actually one inventory slot, which you
Right.
can keep for a very long time. But you're
Right.
gonna have to sell one of these two, and I have a very strong feeling it's gonna be the null talisman. You're gonna have to sell one of these two quite soon, So that's just a little efficiency thing.
Right. Just getting more value out of the item.
Absolutely, a value out of your inventory space, actually.
Right. Okay. Well, that totally makes sense then.
Uh, lucky.
Yeah, dude. You talking about freaking? Dude, and I was trash when I was playing this game too. It was like 1 in the morning.
That engagement could have been quite a lot better. Yeah, could have been a lot better. I mean, the Sunstrike once again, you popped it way too early. I mean, yeah, you have to guarantee or even semi guarantee that the guy is gonna be damaged by it. Like by semi guarantee, I mean if he's cold snapped, right? It's gonna take him a while to do whatever he needs to do.
Right.
This is very nice. And like right now, he was cold snapped, so he had very few choices. If he stops or turns back to avoid the sunstrike, he's gonna die to your right clicks. If he keeps going, he's gonna die to the sunstrike. So that's what I mean, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you just miss two last hits as free farms. Anyway,
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
it's okay. Next time, I mean, buying clarities is very decent, but next time, oh, just a little tiny bit too late, man.
I know, man. That sucks, dude.
It's 2 seconds. Like, you you should have been paying a little bit more attention, and you would have known that he's gonna come and get um rooted there.
Right.
Anyway, next time, I mean, I was saying clarities are really good, and you should always like buy them. But next time, think about buying a raindrop.
Yeah, for the passive regen.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
it's
raindrops own
really
so
good.
hard.
Oh wow, I did not even notice that. Oh, this is bad. Oh, okay, good thing you turned around. Oh, you could have died there. One TP and you were dead, 100%. And
Yeah, absolutely.
you wouldn't have even seen the TP because it would have happened at the shrine. Like Venji would have could have TP'd, stunned you, and to. All right, so wait, what are you making with the?
Drums.
Oh, you're making drums. Drums is a bad item. Don't ever make drums in Dota 2 anymore on anybody. Like honestly, nobody. Like even on heroes that drums is semi good on, don't even bother.
Right. So, like, what kind of like filler item would I get, or would I just like rush another item or something?
Yeah, if you check on Dota buff, this is not something I 100% agree with. This is, up to you. Whatever you prefer. If you check on Dota buff, every single high level player, nearly every single high level player, and this is like almost 95, 99%, they go brown boots into obviously these other small items like they'll have a wraith band and like maybe a magic stick and maybe raindrops, but after that they'll have um, Midas, and then they'll go straight
Right.
for Ags, and then they'll upgrade the boots of speed to travels, right? And
Okay.
then they'll go for other items. But I really don't like that at all, not even one bit. Um, I I like to after Midas and Brown Boots, I like to go for either a Blink, Yules, or Force Staff,
Right.
basically for defensive purposes. And this is like the reason why higher level players go for Ag straight is because they're only gonna farm for a long while. Like they need the with an Exort Invoker, you need the Ags because you need to be able to dish out more than 3 or 4 spells. Like Cosmex Invoker only needs 3 or 4 spells, but as an Exort Invoker, you do need more spells. Um, so you need Ags to be able to be relevant in a team fight,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
So the other thing is like they're gonna be farming the Ags. Even if they go for a blink dagger first, before they can join a team fight, they're gonna need the Ag. So they're essentially just farming for 20-25 minutes, right? Uh,
Right.
20-ish minutes. I've been talking. I completely missed everything that happened. So that's why they just go straight for Ags because it helps with farming a little bit faster.
Yeah. When they probably got people making a lot of space for him too.
That is exactly the other point that I was about to make. That they can guarantee they have wards, they have plenty of vision where they're going to be farming. They have
Right.
space being made by their teammates. They are contributing across the map with their sunstrike, and all they're doing is they're just farming the jungle. So it's
Right.
completely fine.
Yeah.
But in our pub games, neither of those two things are gonna happen. You can't be expect if you just farm, you're gonna get reported. So you have to do a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, because at the end of the day, Invoker's role is not. Exhort Invoker's role is not to do anything until like you get your items. Um, but you have to be expected to be, survivable. Somebody comes to gank, you need to blink away or use or something. Or if you find somebody all alone, you can use your use combo or use blink
Right.
on them or things like that. Um, so that's why I prefer to go for that sort of an item. Um, but at the end of the day, you experiment yourself and you figure out for yourself what is the best item for you. Now, the mistake you made here is exactly what I was talking about. That Invoker needs to farm, and what you do, like, look at it this way. You decided to push, and let's see when you decided to push. This is when you decided to push. Do you see anybody on the map?
No, everybody's totally gone.
Nobody. You see nobody on the map. Your wave, your creep waves are completely your all of your creep waves are pushing into their towers, and nobody's defending them, right?
Yeah, so
So
they're
that
coming
means
for me for sure.
well, that means they're not here, right? They're not they're not in this area. They're not in this area. They're not in this area. So where are? Oh, they're obviously not in base. Nobody's sitting in base, right? So they're most likely right. Like they're most likely right either here or here.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, they could all five be sitting right here.
Right.
You have no idea where they are. You have absolutely no wards on the map. So to be pushing in this sort of a situation, and you have no like vision around this tower anyway. Even if
Yeah.
they were like one or two people were showing here, or your wave, or the enemy wave was like pushing to your tower, so that you can't guarantee that maybe they're just farming jungle or whatever. Even then, you have no vision around this map, around this tower. If somebody
Or any mana. And then I meteor here, but I think I was trying to
yeah,
alacrity. I
yeah,
didn't
and you
mean to
don't have
meteor here. I don't think. I'm almost positive I meant to alacrity.
no worries. No, it's not about the spell. That, as I said to you earlier,
Well, I just say it kind of like snowballed. Like not only did I not have any vision, but even if we did, I didn't have any mana because I
and
whiffed a spell.
absolutely, and on top of everything else, like you didn't even have your whole team here.
Right. Yeah.
So pushing there was a really really bad call.
Right.
Even if you'd escaped, maybe one game, what maybe 5% of the time, or maybe even 10% of the times, you might escape these mistakes. But at the end of the day, like sometimes you might even get that tower for free because the enemy team is just dumb. But most of the times, you're gonna pay heavily for it because it
Right.
is a bad play. It is a
Yeah.
mistake. So it's really, really, really important to um, recognize these mistakes and not repeat them. Whoa, that was bad. All right. Now, once again, look at your HP, look at your mana. You've got Sunstrike, but you're chasing that guy. You're chasing that guy near a structure. Rule of thumb: never ever chase somebody who is moving towards their structure when you're close to their structure without having vision at or around that structure, because
Right.
they can have instant TPs and you would die. And
Right.
on top of everything, even if you had full HP, on top of everything, look at how much HP mana you had. And you're gonna stun? Benji stun? Benji stun? Benji has no stun. Oh lord! Look, one more hit. Yeah, so if, you know, best thing is if Benji had used her medallion on you, you would have died.
Yeah, for sure.
Or she. Holy cow, dude! She. Oh my god, this guy's so bad. He had medallion, which doesn't cost mana. He had stun right here. Right here, he had stun. That stun does 325 damage. Right,
I would have been fucked, bro.
325 damage. Right.
I don't even know why I stopped for this last hit, man. I can't even remember, dude. I was so out of it, man. It was like 1 in the morning. I'd been up all day. I was like, man, dude.
No, no, it doesn't even matter about the last hit. Even if you don't go for the last hit, you were 100% dead. All he had to do was throw the magic missile, put medallion on you, one right click, and just walk away.
Come
And
again?
so I was saying, like, all you had to do was throw missile on you, medallion you, and then one right click, you would have been dead. And
Oh
even
yeah.
at this, any of these points, if he'd medallion you, you would have died. Like even there, this is way too
Thank God Monkey King has like 7,000 range on his right clicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the most
But yeah,
retarded
like
thing.
this is one of those times where you made a bad play and it paid off. Like both the kills happened without you dying. But don't get the misconception that this was an okay or a good play. All right, so
Right, yeah, that's why I said we could watch this game because I was almost positive that it was going to be pretty trash.
um, travels before having any like okay, you got drums. Drums is a stats items, so like I don't know, man. I just wouldn't have gone for travels after drums because this leaves you too exposed. You
Right.
still have to farm. Drums doesn't help you too. Oh come on, there we go. That's it. Oh wow, he didn't. Oh wow,
That
dude.
arrow though.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Okay. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah. Drums. I don't like this too much, and I'm not sure why. Oh, this guy's so dead. Because drums and then travels leaves you like drums isn't a good enough escape item. It's not a good enough stats item. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean, and it's been nerfed into the ground. I feel so squishy now since they removed his like stats from his orb. So I just kind of was like, okay, something to kind of fill the gap in. And here I am standing in shrapnel, dude. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, you weren't watching your own HP or. All right. Um, this is
I gotta start watching replays more often, man. Holy crap.
yeah, absolutely. You should have gone to this large camp. Like your Midas has been on for a while. You should have gone to the large camp and taken that because this guy gives a very small amount of XP.
Right.
So the Midas is okay. So here's the thing with Midas, right? Think of my people like to think of Midas as a gold item. It's not a gold item. That is the okay. Yeah, it does give gold in the long run. It gives you more gold, um, but it is not made for gold. Otherwise, Alchemist would be the biggest buyer of Midas. Midas is pure XP item. That is
Right.
like even if you remove the 190 gold coming from Midas, you would still make Midas on the heroes that you make Midas on because it's purely should be made for XP reasons.
Right.
So
Right.
if you are using Midas on a creep which gives you 28 XP, that's just bad. That's just really bad. The reason why you make Midas on Invoker is because you need level 25 as fast as possible. And you
Right.
are helping that case, like that usage of Midas was, in my opinion, it was almost a complete waste. Like the gold is just not useful.
Right. So it would have been just definitely much more efficient just to go get the big creep.
Absolutely. All right, so this is the first time I see you in the game doing what you should be doing, and this is what you should have been doing essentially from minute 9 or minute 10,
Right.
which is jungling. Just screw
It's
everything
AFK
else.
farm in the jungle.
Not an AFK because what you're doing is you've got four spirits. You a click the camp, and then you're just looking around the map. You're looking around the map for sunstrike opportunities. Like this guy is stunned for 2 hours. You could have been farming this camp right now and just
Right.
thrown out a sunstrike at that stunned guy. Suddenly you got gold. Suddenly you got XP. Suddenly you got higher KDA. Suddenly you got your teammates saying, "Oh wow, this invoker's so good," you know things like that.
Right.
Otherwise, if you're AFK farming, you're gonna get reported because people are like, "Oh man, you've been, AFK in the jungle so long." But then they look at your stats and they're like, "Okay, 12 kills. Maybe he's not been AFK jungling." So
Yeah.
Again, you're at inside the enemy base, close to their structures. You got one ally, you got no vision around that area, and you're just like, you know, why did you cancel your? Okay, so once again, the enemy team is bad. They don't have sentries and dust, but because you 100% would have should have died here, especially because you canceled your ghost walk. But you know, like you don't. There is no reason for you to be here. You have nothing that can kill anyone. You know,
Right. Yeah.
you were going into the enemy jungle with low mana anyway. You had very low mana at that time, and you don't have items. You have a drums, which for me, drums is purely a pushing tower item. That's all. Oh, I don't know how that happens. It's so like it looks like it will hit,
I
and
I clicked right on him. I thought, you know,
yeah, I know it's happened to me a lot as well, and I'm always like, oh
Dota fam.
right. Hey, once again, this guy's bad. Like he got a perfect ult off. Like that's the dream ult, right?
Yeah,
Maximum
yeah.
25% HP left, and boom, you pop your ult, you turn around, you kill this guy, you start killing another person. Like, come on, man. But yeah, this is definitely you're not playing against 3K people. So again, this might not be the best game to look at because
Yeah, this was party MMR. It was one of the most recent ones that, because one game I was just goofing off. Like we didn't have any carries, so I was like, I'll just play right click Invoker just for fun. I mean, it was just like an unranked game,
yeah.
just goofing off with some friends and stuff. This one, it was still with some friends, but I think I was actually trying this game, even though it was like 1 in the morning. I'd been up all day. Like I go to work at 3 in the morning. I don't think I went to sleep at all, and I was just, basically up for a whole day just about. I was delirious by the end of this game. But it's good though. Like I'm learning a lot, man. Like I think the biggest issue for me, I think, is like, you know, positioning. Like I'm not even in the right where I'm supposed to be most of the time.
Yeah, I
And
mean that's not really position. That's understanding what your hero's role is.
right,
It has nothing to do with Invoker. It has everything to do with Dota. Believe me, because you have to understand the benefits, the economy. You have to understand the economy game, the economy game, the team fight game, the timing game. That's
right,
what you have to understand, and obviously, what your hero's timing is. That is obviously hero related. Uh, yeah, because if you had been doing what you're supposed to do, right? Let's have a really quick look at Dota buff. I always type Dota buff. Right, let's click on, let's say, Invoker, 47% legit, and let's have a quick look. Right, this is what I was talking about. Right, so you've got boots into Midas, into travels, into Ags, and 18-minute ags, and here we have the same thing, exact same thing, 17-minute ag. Here we have exact same thing, 16-minute ags, well, 15
mm,
minute, let's
right, right,
and 16-minute, and yeah, 16-minute is the, I would say, a fairly good timing. Wow, this guy is 15-minute ags. But yeah, if you notice the pattern, it's exactly as I said to you earlier. Like this is how. But yeah, these guys that up until 20 minutes, and then you've got a 20-minute blink deck after the act. So and that's pretty much standard, right? 20 minute, well, 22 minutes. This guy didn't go for this guy went for use first. But yeah, it's 22-minute, roughly 20 to 22 minute blink dagger timing. Look at you. You just got you finished your axe at 22 minutes. You're nowhere
right,
close to. Yeah, well, you're. I don't know how close you are, um, because if you're farming, you're really close. But you're not farming. You're sort of pushing, and then you're gonna die. Oh, that was a good attempt, though. That was legit good attempt. Almost pulled it off as well. But let's see how close you are. But yeah, like if you get ags at like 15, 16 minutes, suddenly you can contribute so much to team fights, and then you get your blink dagger a few. minutes later, and all's well. 15-minute jungling, let's say 15-minute not jungling, but 15-minute farming, that's not so bad. You know, everybody
Right.
farms in 15 minutes,
Right.
and then you're online. But because you were part of fights, you were running around chasing heroes, looking for kills, things like that, taking towers, pushing towers, pushing not pushing towers. Pushing towers is a good thing, but you were pushing towers when it was not safe, 100% not safe to do so. You don't even want to take a risk, but you were doing it when it was not safe to do so anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
because you were doing that, you basically delayed your own impact in the game to the point
Mm.
where now the enemy team has resources to deal with whatever you throw at them. So you got 24 minutes, 23 minutes. This is actually pretty good, but that's all obviously because look how many kills you got, right?
Right.
And this is purely because the enemy team is bad, right? That's the only reason why you've got um your items this items, such good item timing. You know, I can almost guarantee you they don't have any. Oh wow! What? Oh my God! Yeah, there was. I thought it was a fluke, but okay, that guy
Them
saved
Rana landed a couple good arrows that game.
it. That was good. It made my day. All right. Oh, just barely. Oh, bad. I guess the enemy team is all dead. And oh, what did you do? What did?
I'm telling you, dude, I was delirious at the end of this game, man. I was just freaking running around the map, dude. It was crazy.
Mm,
I think that was a miscast there. Like, I don't know what I was doing, man. It was like 1 in the morning. And I was playing with my friends, and dude, you understand, they were just goofing off the whole time. I mean, it was crazy.
yeah, yeah. Nobody plays seriously when they're playing with friends.
Nah, man, I like to spam solo queue, but lately I haven't been able to play as much because they've been on and they invite me all the time. And, it's fun to play with friends and stuff.
Absolutely.
The prize is
Let's
won.
have a quick look at how many wards were purchased by the enemy team. Two, two, two wards, and that too by Monkey King. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had no. Oh wait, this is you. your team purchased two wards, and the enemy team actually purchased 12 wards.
And a gym.
I wonder at what point in the game they actually purchased it because let's see who actually bought it. This guy, right? So let's see because I have a feeling he actually didn't buy the war. And he did. He's been buying it. Okay, he started buying them
Shadows take us.
at 16 minutes. Yeah, so
Mm.
at by 16 minutes you're already at 10 kills. So they
Right.
saw you guys coming. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna end